Okay, I'm only going to speak if I hear dead air.
Just don't dominate the whole entire time. Then I will elbow you. I'm Andrea Thomas from Sitka, Alaska, in America, and we have just completed the Kanchenjunga Trek.
My name's Steve Reifenstoll, Andrea's spouse, also from Sitka, Alaska.
One person is 5 to 6 hours. 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
If you 1 point,
The reason we chose the camping option to the tea house or lodge option or the trek was that we've done lots of backpacking and tent camping, and we like that. We also heard the lodges can be a little bit loud, and so we chose the tent. We did end up staying in a couple lodges, and that turned out to be good. But overall, I was very happy that we stayed in a tent. It's cozy in a tent. It actually warms up a little bit in that small tent space, and it worked out very well for us.
I guess what we didn't really realize is that when you go on a trip that you're camping, you need a lot more porters, and that's employing that many more people. And I guess we didn't really think about that, but afterwards we felt really great that so many people could be hired and working in their country. So we are really glad about that. And it was something to get used to. We're not used to having tea brought to us or being served, but that was pretty special. And the staff were just amazingly great and so fun and so friendly, and so it made it really a special trip that way. So the way camp situation was set up is usually there's a porter that carries our stuff, and he was so fast and so strong. He always beat us. I mean, he carried, 5 times more than what we did, and he would always beat us to camp. He'd set up camp. You'd have, so the tent would be set up, and there's 2 pads. One is a thin insulate pad, one is this cushy pad, air mattress that was really so comfortable. My hips never hurt, which was amazing to me. And it was just nice to have that kind of private space, and plus the tent was nice and warm. And then they would set up a little tent and dig a hole for your personal bathroom. And I wasn't expecting that either, and that made it really easy. And so the camp life was really nice. I mean, it's all set up. All you have to do is get in there and take your sleeping bag out, and so it made it really easy. And actually, I really liked the camping part because the tent is really warm, and sometimes even warmer than lodges. We stayed in the lodges a couple of times at the high elevations, and we were glad for it. But otherwise, we were really happy to have the tent. Okay, so we thought we were camping, and you feel like camping's pretty rustic, but they have a nice pad underneath, and they have a really thick pad to sleep on. It's so cozy and warm. And the sleeping bags they provide are really so warm and cozy, and they're big and really comfortable. And actually I find it warmer in the tent because it heats up during the day, and it's very cozy, and I've just loved camping. Oh my gosh. What I did not expect was the kinds of foods that we had and the variety from, of course, we thought we were going to have Dalbot breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and which completely did not have it that way. And he baked things. He just had the most wonderful variety, and they were all delicious, and delicious sauces and momos with amazing sauce, and it just, I love the eggplants so much. I love all the vegetables. It was like a surprise every time you went to dinner. And had sack lunches, which were really great and really nice to have, so you could eat anywhere along the way. And what was also really special was the teas. Tea first thing in the morning. They brought tea to your tent. That was so surprising to me. I just wasn't expecting that, and so delicious. And we had hot ginger lemon tea with honey every morning. It was just delicious, and cookies, and then we had and the other thing. After we hiked for the day, and we were in our tent about 4 p.m., they brought this pan of warm water to wash up, and that we just never expected. You can't believe how much pleasure you have for having this warm water brought to you so you can wash your face and your hands, and it was lovely.
Your turn.
And I never expected it was they carried bananas for 4 days, and they stayed in excellent shape. And so they'd split the banana, put it in a batter, and then hot fry it, and it would puff up like banana pastry almost, and it was so delicious and such a treat. I've never had fried bananas before. I love bananas, but I've never had fried bananas, and they are so sweet and delicious, and it's such a treat at the end of the day. It's hard to believe that we're out here miles, kilometers from the road, and we're eating like this. It is just outstanding.
Yeah.
And he also did that with apples. The cook was very imaginative and experienced and could make different dishes. I think we might have had dal bhat 3 or 4 times perhaps in a 25-day trip. And I loved the dal bhat. I mean, it's savory and great spices and wonderful. But we had so much beyond that. Many of the names I can't remember, but dinners were like a 3-course, 4-course meal. Always had some kind of dessert afterwards. Lunches were usually a bagged lunch and a hard-boiled egg, but also nicely prepared, unless we were going to be in camp. So there were a few hot lunches, but mostly we were trekking, so they were cold lunches, and they were great. And they slipped in a Snickers bar.
The other thing I want to add is all along the way, they gather local produce from wherever we're at. So one time we had these fresh ferns sauteed with the sauce, amazing, and we had nettle soup, and then these different squashes, and
I'm going to have a little more of the
Fun, but too hot.
it was really awesome to have all these different locally produced produce and fruit, and we had pomegranate sometimes for dinner, for dessert, and just
That's your dessert, huh?
beautiful.
Hot milk.
Hot milk. You know, it was just amazing how much food they carried, and potatoes. So potatoes were being harvested when we were coming through, and we had amazing potato dishes, and so that was really neat. And to think that they carried all these heavy things was amazing to me, and they were so, that's what made it that much more delicious, because all this locally, local produce, and of course all organic, but mostly just some of them just from the forest, from the jungle that we were going through, like the ferns and nettles. So it was really neat.
We had nettle soup, and it was the most exquisite flavor and savory dish I've had. I mean, I was just astounded to have something new, completely new, and I'd never heard of before. To take a wild plant from the jungle, like nettles, and strip it down and boil it, and of course there's no sticky nettles getting caught in your palate or anything. It was just delicious.
Oh, you want to say something? I didn't know that. Sorry.